Hello guys, my name is Raza Masood. Today we will discuss about three key roles in a Scrum. Guys, today's topic is very easy and I'm very hopeful that you have definitely heard about these three key roles about Scrum. So first of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell option. So let's start our tutorial. So what are the three main key roles in the Scrum, which are the basically the building blocks through we implement the Scrum methodology or Scrum framework to implement a project. First of all, the most important key role is the product owner. Product owner is a basically person who is basically the voice of customer basically, and he involves in business justifications, quality matters, change requests and risk aspects associated with the Scrum projects. Friends, just remember this term, product owner. Product owner is basically a person who basically owns the product. What does that means actually? How he owns a project? Basically he drives the project, he basically leads the project, he has the complete knowledge what he wants to deliver, what actually customer wants. So he has basically a clear vision that what type of product, what type of project they want to make through the team, and he has the abilities to deliver the requirement and business justification to the teams. And he has he knows clearly, and he knows clear vision that what he wants to make from the team. And also he has a good knowledge about quality management, and also the change request, how he will manage the change request, how he will manage the risk. Overall he basically owns the project, he basically leads the project, he basically guides the team that how they have to deliver the project and what they have to deliver. Basically the main important thing, what they have to deliver. Like for example, if basically if team has to deliver a e-commerce project, e-commerce website, so the product owner basically drives the project, he basically defines the stories, requirements of customer, and also set the priority, also set the acceptance criteria. Basically overall he basically owns the project, he basically owns the project, and he basically drives the overall product. Now coming to the next topic, a Scrum Master. A Scrum Master, friends, basically a person who is basically a facilitator. uh, you can say a person who basically facilitate among the team, and he basically adhere to the Scrum methodology, Scrum procedures, and he basically responsible to remove any road blockers if team is facing. For example, he will make sure that the daily Scrum meeting should held on daily basis for about 10 to 15 minutes. He will make sure that the retrospect session should be held. He will make sure that the team has good knowledge and understanding about the user stories. He will make sure that the Scrum methodologies and Scrum framework should be implemented properly. He will make sure that if there is any impediments, if there is any road blockers team is facing, they should be highlighted, and he is should be responsible to remove the road blocker. uh, you can imagine a Scrum Master as a facilitator, as a person who is basically you can say moving ahead of a team, and and basically removing any road blocker, any problem, any issues. Before team reach there, they will try to remove these road blockers. So a Scrum Master is basically a facilitator among the team who basically adhere to the Scrum methodologies, and he will also make sure that the all the Scrum procedures and frameworks and the important concepts of a Scrum should be implemented among the team. So basically Scrum Master is a facilitator among the team. Now the last key role persons are Scrum Team. Friends, Scrum team is basically a group of team member, or you can say a group of technical team who basically consist of developers, consultants, database administrators, designers, IT staff, etc., etc. So basically, you can imagine a technical team who is basically who is going to implement a project, and normally it consists of 10 to 15 team member in a Scrum team. Remember one thing, that in a Scrum methodology, Scrum team is self-organized and self-motivated and self-driven. They are not basically dependent on any person. The whole Scrum team is responsible, is self-driven. They Self-driven means that they are making their own decisions according to their own knowledge. And one more important thing, that the Scrum team is basically taking decisions among the team. Means, what does that mean? Basically, it means that the Scrum team members sitting together and they are deciding that, okay, these 5 stories will be picked by these developers and these 2 stories will be picked by these two team member. So the Scrum team is more responsible, and they are more self-motivated. Basically, they are more self-decision makers. So the Scrum team is more, you can say, agile. They are more self-motivated and they are taking decisions by their own self and not dependent on any other person. So Scrum team is a very important role. And one more important thing, that Scrum team having team members, their roles will be keep changing. Like for example, if any person is doing development, so on the next day he can do the quality assurance as well. If one person is doing the development, database administration, so it may possible he is doing some other job on the next day. So their roles can be changing, their requirements can be changing. Quality assurance person can document the requirements, etc. So the change requirements, so the roles of the team members can be changed as per the need on request basis. But the most important thing, that Scrum team is the most important role in the team, in the roles, because they are basically delivering the project and they are self motivated. Most important thing, they are self decision makers, they are self motivated. So friends, in this tutorial we have described the 3 key roles. Product owner, who is basically, just remember, product owner is basically a voice of customer, who is basically driving the whole project or product, and they are basically giving you the requirement and prioritizing the requirements and finalizing the project or product. They are basically the whole driver, basically driving the project. Product owner, who is giving you the business justification and giving you the specification of requirement. Scrum Master is basically a facilitator among the team, who is basically adhere to the Scrum methodology, and he basically remove any impediments and roadblockers if team is facing. A Scrum team is basically consist of team members or persons like developers, database administrator, QA, etc. And the Scrum team is a team who basically deliver the project technically. They understand the requirement and they deliver the things by taking decisions, self decision makers, and not dependent on any other person. So friends, I hope you like this video. I have tried my level best to try to give you an example and give insight about the key roles of Scrum, that how basically a Scrum project managed. Actually, Scrum project is basically the pillars of a Scrum project is basically these 3 roles: product owner, Scrum Master, and a Scrum team. These are the key roles and these are the pillar of a Scrum project, at which the whole building of Scrum project basically resides. So friends, I would request, if you have any question and you would like to ask any question from me, so please do ask from me. I would love to answer your queries and questions. So also please share this video with your friends and colleagues, and also like this video. So thank you, and thanks a lot for your time. And most of all, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option. So thank you, thanks a lot.